Let me describe two people. Person A earns $400,000 a year. Designer apartments, luxury car lease, business class flights, dinners that cost more than most people's monthly grocery budget. Always looks like they have money. Their actual net worths, somewhere around zero, sometimes negative. They are one bad month away from not being able to make payroll on their own life. Person B earns $75,000 a year. Normal cars, modest apartment, buys groceries on sale, takes one vacation a year and actually saves for it. By age 50, they have over $1 million in investments. They will retire comfortably and never stress about money again. One of these people is managing their money like the 1%. And it is not the person in business class. Here is what the research on wealthy people actually shows. A Ramsey Solutions study found that 93% of millionaires attributed their wealth to hard work and disciplined financial habits, not high incomes. Only 15% ever held senior leadership positions like CEO. The top 5 careers for millionaires include teachers, accountants, and engineers. Regular people with regular incomes who did very specific things with their money that most people never do. Today we are breaking down exactly what those things are. No trust funds required. No six-figure salary required. Just the habits, the systems, and the mindset. Let's go. Welcome back or welcome for the first time. This channel is about making money make sense for real people without the jargon and without the pretense. Subscribe if that is your thing. To be clear, when I say manage your money like the 1%, I am not talking about tax shelters in the Cayman Islands or hedge fund strategies that require $10 million to access. I am talking about the foundational habits and systems that research consistently shows separate people who build lasting wealth from people who earn well but stay broke. The genuinely surprising thing about how wealthy people manage money is how boring most of it is. Not boring in a bad way. Boring in the it works quietly for decades without requiring much maintenance way. The kind of boring that ends with a very comfortable retirement and zero financial anxiety. 8 habits. Let's get into them. Here is the first habit that separates people who build wealth from people who earn well but stay broke, and it sounds almost embarrassingly simple. They know exactly where their money goes. Not a vague general sense. Not I spend maybe around $3,000 on rent. They know exactly. To the dollar, more or less. Wealthy people budget. This surprises almost everyone who assumes rich people are too rich to need a budget. But Farron Dogs, a certified financial planner whose millionaire clients have an average net worth of $6 to $8 million, is very clear. His wealthiest clients create detailed budgets for their income, expenses, savings, and investments. They review those budgets regularly and adjust when their circumstances change. Here is why this matters. You cannot make good decisions with money you cannot see clearly. The person who kind of knows what they spend is also the person who is consistently surprised at the end of every month. The person who tracks their money knows exactly what is available for saving and investing, and that number does not fluctuate based on vibes. You do not need a complex system for this. A spreadsheet, an app, even a piece of paper. The tool does not matter. The habit of knowing, of looking at the actual numbers instead of guessing, is the whole point. Americans believe it takes an average net worth of $2.5 million to be considered wealthy. The people who get there almost always got there by knowing exactly where every dollar was going and choosing intentionally. Habit 2 is the one that, if you take nothing else from this video, will probably have the most direct impact on your financial life. And it is the exact opposite of how most people handle money. Most people pay their bills, cover their expenses, live their life, and then save whatever happens to be left at the end of the month. The problem is that almost nothing is ever left. Spending expands to fill available income every single month at every income level. The leftover savings strategy has a 100% failure rate for most people. Wealthy people do the opposite. The moment income arrives, a predetermined amount moves automatically into savings and investments, before a single bill gets paid, before a single discretionary decision gets made. This is called pay yourself first, and Dog says his millionaire clients do it without exception, via direct deposit from their paycheck or recurring automatic transfers. The key word is automatic. Not, I intend to transfer money to savings this week. Automatic. Already scheduled. Already moved. The decision was made once, the system was set up once, and now it runs without requiring any willpower on any given Monday morning. Research backs this up consistently. The Ramsey Solutions study found that 8 out of 10 millionaires invested in their employer-sponsored 401k. They did not wait until they had enough to invest. They automated it from day one and increased the percentage as their income grew. A strong savings target, the one wealthy people generally aim for, is 20% to 25% of gross income. If that sounds impossible right now, start with 5% or 10%. The automation matters more than the amount at first. Get the system running. Increase the number over time. Here is the habit that is most culturally counterintuitive, and also the one that most separates the genuinely wealthy from the people who only appear wealthy. Wealthy people as a group spend less than they earn by a significant margin. Not a small margin. A significant one. The classic book The Millionaire Next Door documented this in extensive detail. The typical American millionaire drives a used car, lives in a modest house relative to their income, does not own a boat, and is not particularly interested in status symbols. They are wealthy because they kept the gap between what they earned and what they spent wide enough for decades that the gap became a fortune. This is the direct opposite of lifestyle inflation, the pattern we covered in the video on crossing $100,000, where every raise gets absorbed by a nicer apartment, a better car, and more expensive habits until the gap is exactly what it always was. The 1% of wealth builders actively resist this. Not because they are stingy, because they understand the math. Money spent on depreciating things today is money that cannot compound into much larger amounts tomorrow. The car lease that costs $700 a month is not just $700. Over 20 years, that $700 invested at 7% returns is roughly $443,000. The car was a car. The investment would have been a significant portion of a retirement account. This does not mean never enjoy your money. It means being deliberate about which upgrades you choose and which ones you decline, especially when the decision is driven by social comparison rather than genuine personal value. Habit 4 follows directly from Habit 3, and it is just as important. Wealthy people use debt strategically and avoid high-interest consumer debt almost completely. They understand that debt is not a neutral tool. High-interest debt, credit card balances, personal loans, buy now pay later arrangements with ugly rates is an active force working against wealth. It is compound interest running in reverse. Here is the math that makes this real. A credit card charging 24% APR on a $5,000 balance, where you pay only the minimum each month, takes over 20 years to pay off and costs more than $13,000 in total. You borrowed $5,000. You paid back $13,000. The extra $8,000 went to the credit card company for the privilege. Dogs is direct about this. His self-made millionaire clients started by reducing their debts to increase cash flow and build their emergency fund. They cleared the high-interest debt first, because the guaranteed return on eliminating 24% interest debt is better than any investment available. This does not mean wealthy people are debt-free in every sense. Mortgages, business loans used strategically, investment property financing, these are forms of debt that can work in your favor. But consumer debt, debt taken on to buy things that lose value or have no return, is something the genuinely wealthy treat with extreme caution. Here is the investing habit of the wealthy that will probably surprise you most. It is not complicated. The research on how millionaires actually invest is remarkably consistent. They invest regularly, every month, every paycheck, regardless of what the market is doing. They favor diversified, low-cost vehicles. They do not try to time the markets. They do not chase hot stocks or cryptocurrency tips from someone in a forum. They invest boring things consistently for a very long time and let compound interest do its work. The Ramsey Solutions survey found that 8 in 10 millionaires invested through their employer's 401k. Index funds, which just track the broad market instead of trying to beat it, are among the most common vehicles. The reason is math: fees eat returns. A 1% annual fee difference over 30 years on a $500,000 portfolio costs you roughly $150,000 in lost growth. Low-cost index funds charge as little as 0.03% per year. That is $15 on a $50,000 investment. The 80% of Americans who wish they had started investing earlier. They are wishing they had done exactly what wealthy people do: automated a consistent investment contribution, picked boring diversified funds, and left it alone. The inflection point the wealthy talk about is not a secret investment strategy. It is time. Start at 25 instead of 35 with the same monthly contribution, and you end up with dramatically more money at retirement, not because of any cleverness, but because compound growth had an extra decade to work. Habit 6 is the one that most people think is out of reach, but is more accessible than they realize. The wealthy do not rely on a single income source. Research shows that 89% of high net worth Americans rely on investments as a key income source, alongside employment. 45% own businesses. 23% receive some form of inheritance. Multiple income streams is not a luxury strategy. It is a fundamental approach to financial resilience. And here is the accessible version of this for regular people. A second income stream does not have to be a second job. It can be rental income from a property, dividend income from investments, a side business that starts small and grows, interest from high-yield savings accounts, freelance work in your area of expertise. 83% of Americans believe having multiple income streams is essential for financial security in retirement. The people who build them early, even small, partial income streams, are the ones who are not entirely dependent on a single employer for their financial well-being. The practical version for most people: start with your investment portfolio as income stream 2. Dividend-paying investments, or a broadly diversified index fund that grows over time, becomes a source of financial return that eventually runs alongside your job income. It starts small. Given enough time, it becomes genuinely meaningful. Habit 7 is the one that feels most 1%, but is completely accessible to regular earners. Wealthy people treat tax minimization as a fundamental part of money management, not an afterthought. This does not mean illegal tax evasion. It means using every legal tool the tax code provides to keep more of what you earn, and the code provides quite a lot. The most accessible version: max out tax-advantaged retirement accounts. Every dollar contributed to a traditional 401k or IRA reduces your taxable income for the year. Every dollar in a Roth IRA grows completely tax-free for decades. Contributions to an HSA, a health savings account, are triple tax-advantaged. They reduce your taxable income when you contribute, grow tax-free, and come out tax-free when used for medical expenses. These are not obscure strategies. They are the IRS's own programs, specifically designed for regular workers, and used systematically by almost every genuinely wealthy person. Beyond accounts, wealthy people track deductible expenses, mortgage interest, charitable donations, business costs if they own a business, and consult with professionals who specialize in finding the legal ways to reduce what gets sent to the government each year. The simple version of this habit: know what tax-advantaged accounts you have access to, use them. Increase contributions when your income grows. Every dollar you keep through tax efficiency is a dollar that compounds in your favor rather than disappearing. The 8th and final habit is the one that almost never gets included in money management content, and it may be the most important. Wealthy people actively protect their wealth. This means several things. Life insurance: if people depend on your income, you need enough coverage to replace it if something happens to you. Disability insurance: statistically, you are far more likely to become unable to work during your career than to die during it. Yet disability insurance is routinely ignored. An emergency fund: 3 to 6 months of expenses in liquid, accessible savings, so that a single bad event does not force you to liquidate investments at the worst possible time. And eventually, as wealth grows, estate planning: a will, potentially a trust, beneficiary designations reviewed and updated. The wealthy think about risk as actively as they think about growth, because they understand that the asymmetry of loss is brutal. It takes years to build $200,000 and can take weeks to lose it if you are unprotected. One lawsuit, one disability, one family crisis without a plan can derail decades of careful financial building. The protection layer does not have to be complex. An emergency fund and basic term life insurance, and a written will is more protection than the majority of American adults currently have. Start there. Let's stack these 8 habits and see the full picture. Know your numbers, budget, track, stay informed about where your money is going. Pay yourself first, automate savings and investments before anything else gets paid. Live below your means, protect the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Avoid high-interest debt, treat consumer debt like the wealth destroyer it is. Invest consistently in low-cost diversified vehicles, and leave it alone long enough for compound interest to do its work. Build multiple income streams, start with your investment portfolio and grow from there. Minimize taxes legally, use every tax-advantaged account available to you. Protect what you build, emergency fund, insurance, a written plan for what happens if something goes wrong. None of these habits require a trust fund. None require a 6-figure salary. None require a finance degree or a Bloomberg terminal. They require understanding, system design, and the discipline to keep running systems that work even when they feel slow. 80% of Americans wish they had started investing earlier. The average first investment age in this country is 27. The wealthy start earlier, automate more aggressively, and stay consistent longer. That is the whole gap. Person A and Person B from the opening of the video are both real archetypes. Person A earns more. Person B builds more. The difference is not income. It is systems. The 1% is not a salary threshold. It is a set of behaviors that, applied consistently over time, produce outcomes that look from the outside like luck or privilege, but are actually the compound result of 8 unglamorous habits done quietly for decades. You do not need to start all 8 habits tomorrow, pick one. The automatic savings transfer is the highest leverage starting point for most people. Set it up this week, even at a small amount, and you have started the most important financial habit in this entire list. If this video helped you understand what wealthy people actually do differently, and more importantly, that you can do most of it too, hit the like button. Subscribe for more no-jargon money content, and share this with someone who thinks wealth is only for people born into it. See you in the next one.